It's been 3 years since Nathan Hunt officially became a trainer. An ambitious man, he has continued to improve his racing stats year on year, as well as keep his own line of breeding going strong.
Bang on Annie was bred here. She's out of Bang on Pippa, who was obviously the litter mate of our other dog, Castle Henry, who started the ball rolling for us really, so we were keen to keep the line going. And yeah, pleased that Bang on Annie, she was a great bitch for us as well. The litter out of Bang on Pippa done well for us. Myself and Luke Staunton bred them, and I think 7 out of the 8 won the Opens. And other little competitions like British bred competitions. So yeah, we were keen to keep the line going. Always a fan of Higher Butt, and I didn't really want to send the bitch back to Ireland. So yeah, we decided to use Higher Butt, and really happy with them so far. Yeah, 6 months old, and they look lovely pups, very content pups. And yeah, fingers crossed, you know, a little bit of early pace either side of the line, so hopefully they'll suit Romford.
Talking of breeding, we've also seen Wuheida here today, who actually lives in the house with Phil, and you've just mated her again as well.
Yeah, so she had the first litter out of Luggill Blake. We're disappointed in fairness. They started at Romford, but they weren't really suited to the track. They look more like 500 metre plus dogs. The second litter out of Droopys Sydney, they've started off at Monmore. They've started off sprinting really. They're lightly schooled, so we just, you know, continue their schooling really in the sprints. But now they're a little bit older, they're ready to step up to 480, and it looks like they're crying out for it. We decided we were happy with how the Droopys Sydney litter were doing, and yeah, we decided it would probably be our last litter. So we went to Malachi this time. I've got a couple of dogs in the kennel in Malachi. I like the temperament of them and stuff like that. So yeah, we decided to go with him, try something different, and fingers crossed she is in pup. And yeah, as I say, that'll probably be her last litter then.
Exciting times ahead. Let's talk about some of the races you've got here, and I want to start with probably the best, Droopys Fidget, and she's a Fidget by name, Fidget by nature, real lively sort, and a really, really exciting pup for you.
She is, yeah, bit of didn't expect it really. When I first had her over, I thought she'd just be a grader for us. Probably start her off at Monmore graded and see where we go with her. But her first 4-bend trial was fantastic really, so took our time with her. She was only going to go straight in A1, so we kept her back a bit. Started her off in a maiden at Romford, where she was very eye-catching in defeat, and then made no mistake next time. She won well in a maiden, and then yeah, took her to Monmore. She actually checked us off in the first race at Monmore when leading. Just showed a bit of greenness really. Give her a trial to get that out of her head, and then yeah, last Saturday was pretty special performance really in a puppy race there, winning by what, just under 9 lengths in the fastest time of the night. I think it was the fastest time of the year as well. So yeah, so far it's been you know, pretty fantastic really. Caught me by surprise, and it's just, you know, nice to have a dog of that ability in the kennel.
And all eyes on Monmore Puppy Derby, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I mean, normally I would say every year the Puppy Derby you need an April sort of May sort of dog experience. The more experience you've got, the better. I think when we won it with Castle Henry, he was the most experienced dog in the final. But yeah, she's only in August, so she is a baby. But yeah, she's certainly talented and worthy of going in there. We just got to hope she doesn't break in season now. Before then, it'd be nice to run in the Puppy Derby, then I wouldn't mind her having a season after that.
Tell us about Droopys Google. This is a dog that's really highly thought of in a lot of quarters. What do you think of him?
Yeah, he's a very fast dog. Took a little bit of time to really show what he can do. He's certainly done it in trials, but he had a couple of races. To be fair to him, he was probably drawn further out than ideal. And then when he did get trapped 2 at Toaster, he showed what he could do when he won a heat of the Puppy Derby there. He's got a real great racing brain. He can go inside, outside, comes from off the pace, and early signs show that he could well be a decent dog over 6 bends, and the company he was in when he won at Toaster have gone on to do well. So yeah, we're fingers crossed with him really. We just need a bit more racing out of him now. He was a bit stop-start at the end of last year, and then he was unfortunate at Newcastle. He just didn't run the bend at all. Probably first time running out of 1 maybe. So we just want to get a few runs under his belt now just to get him going again.
In the meantime, before he steps up to 6 bends, I know you'd like to take him to Toaster for a crack at the Derby, but I think a few of your owners, I think it's fair to say, have been quite outspoken about their thoughts on Toaster, as have a lot of people. What is your relationship with Toaster as things stand?
As far as I'm aware, then you know, we're welcome back, we hope. we're keen to go back there. I've always been a big fan of Toaster. I always say probably the best night's racing I've had in, the time I've been in the sport, have been at Toaster. Certainly the last derby they had, I thought that was the first time, since crowds come back, everything after COVID, it was a brilliant night. And I've always enjoyed racing there. It's not too far for us, it's just over an hour. There was probably 18 months ago I was considering moving to Toaster graded. That's how much I like going there, but obviously they've had their issues, and it was frustrating obviously in the puppy derby, and we'd probably had enough of it. I had 2 dogs in there that I just thought, well, draw the line really somewhere, and hopefully they can get things right, because the sport needs a track like Toaster. Without a track like Toaster, then we'll be struggling. So we hope they get up and running again, and hopefully we welcome back, because I hope it does well, because if the Toaster's thriving, then it's only going to benefit the sport.
There's a few more dogs that we're featuring here at your kennels today that you think are going to win plenty of races on the channel. Gunboat Wichita is one of those, who came over from Ireland in September, I believe, and just hit a really nice bit of form at Romford.
Yeah, so he came over, he had decent form in Ireland, and when he was in front in an A2, he just went wrong going into the 3rd bend. It looked like it might have been a serious injury, but we found the problem. It wasn't too bad, just a minor injury. Brought him back, and decided to keep him back for the maiden competition, and it worked out well, really. A really good win in the semi-final, and then he got it right. He made use of a good draw in the final, and really pleased for this group of owners. Obviously it's the Nathan Hunt Racing Club, but there's 10 owners involved in him, so it's pleasing for them that he did manage to win a nice prize, £5,000, really good addition to the calendar, I think, put on by Romford.
What are your hopes for Newsydontheblock? Obviously one that was bred here, very fond of you obviously. Has raced in A8s at Romford and A6s at Monmore, but yet to win.
Yeah, so he started at Romford because mainly his group of owners are more connected to Romford, so they wanted to try him there first, but the early signs were he was going to be more of a galloping 4-bend dog at least. So we've graded him in at Monmore now, which obviously benefit of having the dual attachment. So we've graded him on now, and he's had his first race under his belt. He looks like he's well suited to Monmore, so fingers crossed now. He's in the right enough grade. I think A6 he can go through the grades.
And his sister Poundnote Penny, she started her career at Monmore. You've eased her in D3s.
Yeah, again, the benefit of being at Monmore, we've started them off in sprints just to continue their schooling, really. I didn't want to step them up too early because they're still young, and they're a big litter, a lot of big dogs in there. Poundnote Penny, she's nearly 34 kilos, so she's a big bitch. So we've taken our time with them. They look like they're crying out for 4 bends, so now they've had a few races under their belt. We're ready to step them up to 480, and hopefully they can get their wins on their card now and go through the grades nicely.
The fantastically named Pearlthepug as well. She won an A3 and an A2 at Romford, made a really nice start to her career. Then she's been off since October, but another one you think to follow? Yeah,
she's got really nice early pace. So she hit the scene. She started off in A3, 1A3, 1A2, and then broke in season. But it's a real nice litter. I've already got Billy's Blazer as won a couple of opens for us. He's a fast dog. They're out of Bretley. They're not 2 until March. So. A lot of hopes for her. Hopefully she comes back after her season. She's strengthened up a little bit, and she looks ideally suited to Romford anyway.